He was abandoned as a puppy. His parents were shot into outer space. Every night something new tries to destroy him. Monsters, demons, serial killers. And every night he faces it completely alone. This is not Guts. This is not Eren Yeager. This is Courage, a cowardly dog. And by the end of this video, you'll see why his trauma is actually more terrifying than theirs. We got a very specific idea of what suffering looks like. It looks like Guts, born from a corpse, sold before he could speak, turned into a weapon because that was the only way to survive. Or it looks like Eren, a boy who watched something reach inside his home and take his mother, and decided he would never feel that small again. Both of them turned their pain into a weapon, something destructive. Courage was broken by a world that didn't even care enough to be a tragedy. He didn't get a sword or a titan's power, he just got a rocket ship that took his parents away. In the episode Remembrance of Courage's Past, Courage is only a puppy. Look at Courage's face in this scene, waving goodbye to the only two people who ever loved him. And that's where Courage becomes more real than any anime character ever could. Because while Guts and Eren represent the fantasy of what we wish we could do with our pain, Courage represents the reality of what we actually have to live with. Trauma doesn't give a 6-foot sword or the power to flatten continents. It gives you an anxiety disorder. It gives you a nervous system that never fully relaxes. Guts and Eren got power from their pain. Courage got fear, and he carried it every single day without ever turning it into something cool. That's not weakness. It's the ultimate form of resilience. Staying kind when the world gives you every reason to be cruel. There's a comfort in becoming the monster. When the world hurts you, the easiest response is to put on a mask of rage so you never have to be the victim again. It's the epic way to cope. But Courage doesn't have the luxury of a titan's body. He lives in a world where the monsters are already in the house. In the episode The Mask, he meets Kitty, a character who wears a porcelain mask because she's broken by someone she loves. She hates dogs. She treats Courage with pure, unearned cruelty. If this were an anime, Courage would be justified in fighting back. But Courage doesn't see an enemy. He tries to help her heal. Guts and Eren used their pain to build the wall between themselves and the world. Courage used his to build a bridge. He befriended the hunchback. He comforted the space squid. He looked at monsters that terrified him, and instead of screaming, he asked, "Who hurt you?" Eren Yeager died thinking he had to be perfect to be free. But as we move into the final room of this gallery, we see Courage face the one monster that Guts and Eren never could defeat. Not a demon, not a titan, but a teacher. In the episode Perfect, Courage isn't fighting a monster. He's fighting his own mind. He is haunted by the teacher because she lives in the one place he cannot escape, his own reflection. She tells him he's a failure. She tells him that because he's scared, he's worthless. Guts and Eren would call his fear a weakness to be purged. The teacher calls it a failure to be corrected. But the show argues it's just part of being alive. This is the voice inside that Guts drowns with violence, and Eren buries under rage. Courage finds a bathroom stall, and in that stall, he finds a magic fish who tells him the most important thing any survivor can hear.
With all your imperfections, you can do anything.
A cartoon dog in a bathroom stall getting told he's enough. It's not a perfect speech on a battlefield. It's just a cartoon dog hearing the words that Guts and Eren never could. We love Guts and Eren because we want to believe that if we are hurt enough, we become invincible. We want the sword. We want the power. But the reality of suffering is much closer to Courage. It's trembling. It's crying. It's being terrified of a world that is too big and too loud, and deciding to stay kind anyway. Maybe being a coward who keeps loving is the bravest thing you can be. Guts became the beast. Eren became the god. Courage chose to feel everything, and he stayed dog.